Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. And I tell you what, man, this is going to be a good one because this guy's past is crazy. And, well, let me give you a little bit. He was a heavy equipment operator for a demolition company. That's got to be fun. An ocean rescue lifeguard captain. Okay. He served in the United States Marine Corps. Both active and reserve, or just reserve?
Reserve.
Okay, reserve, which is awesome. He was security at an embassy in D.C., as well as special events and country clubs, which I don't know what that exactly means, but we could get into that a little bit. Basically, he's an international man of mystery. That's what I like to summarize all that up with. And he's now helping run a family business that is protecting people with insurance, businesses and people with insurance. So we had the one and only Ed Palumbo with Palumbo Insurance Associates. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
You do have just a great voice for this.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much. Before we get into insurance, because we want to bring some value to people today, but give everybody just a little bit of a background about, who you are personally, and of course we'll jump into the past a little bit too, because that does seem a little bit interesting.
Yeah, cut my teeth in demolition, started out as a laborer and worked my way up to machine operator, heavy equipment operator, awesome jobs, and dangerous work, but fun work. And I worked for a family business doing that. And from New Jersey, we moved down to Maryland in the early 90s. My father got transferred to Baltimore, and then he continued on to work in D.C. And he's been in insurance his whole professional career, 50 years. Okay. And then he opened up his own shop 16 years ago. And I came on board shortly after that. And that's how went through those lists of jobs into insurance.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You either got to know somebody or, it was like, I'm going to be an insurance broker, agent, or underwriter.
Second grade class are like, all right, it's picture day, occupations. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, right.
I want to be an insurance person.
There was no risk management curriculum in college back then.
No, there was not. Wow. And you served for the Marines, and you did a little bit of security in D.C. and talk a little bit about that.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah. So when I was 24, I was kind of floundering a little bit, a little lost,
as a lot of 24-year-olds are, right?
Right.
There she is.
Wasn't sure which way to go. Yeah. I always loved the Marine Corps. First in, they're the best. Tip of the spear type thing. And I was an Army man for Halloween for like 5 Halloweens in a row. So it was kind of
at the age of 23.
Yes. Yeah. I was still trick-or-treating as an Army man. And I was floundering a little bit, wasn't sure what I wanted to do, just a little bit lost. So I went to the recruiting station and went to the Marines and told them I needed to leave. I said, I need to get out of here. I need to do something. And like, well, you could leave right now. You could take this job, reserve contract, and you'll be gone in a week. You'll be out of here. And you'll be away from Bel Air for like almost 2 years. And you come back, settle in, do your job, and you drill once a month, 30 to 60 days in the summer, depending on the training and where that was. So I did that.
Yeah.
And
Paris Island?
Paris Island, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's intense stuff.
Sand fleas, yes. Whew. Paris Island Marines are the best.
What time of the year would that be?
That was June.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Get down
just
there.
Nice warm days.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Camp Lejeune is hotter and more humid because I think it's in Paris Island, South Carolina, on the water. Okay. Camp Lejeune's North Carolina. Little bit inland, so that forest is just hot, humid. There's bugs in those woods that you belong in South America.
Right.
What's that doing here? But it was an interesting time, and by the grace of, I served in 2 different units in the Marine Corps, and the first unit I checked into was out of D.C., and they had just come back from Iraq. So they weren't slated to go for another 2 years. Okay. Back to rotate in. And I ended up leaving that unit and going to a unit here in Baltimore, which is the 4th Combat Engineer Battalion, H&S Company. Their headquarters is in Baltimore. Not many people know that. Okay. It's a reserve station in Towson. And the bulk of that unit was on a special purpose MAGTF, which is Marine Air Ground Force And they were in Italy, North Africa, and half the unit we were drilling.
Yeah.
And I got to go to Africa with them for some training, and that was fun.
I bet.
Yeah. And I traveled around the country, but the 2 different units I went to, it's by the grace of God. I had friends, other Marines who went to war, and I didn't go to war, So it's kind of like, it's weird because you're trained for war, you're trained to do all that stuff, and other guys were getting to do it and some don't. So looking back on that all, it's the hand of God.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever could have happened.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who didn't make it or came back and struggled and didn't make it, or came back, struggled, and are doing amazingly well right now.
Okay. Having that wisdom or that perspective now, being at 43, looking back on your life and saying it's a blessing from God, at that point in time, was it a kind of like a disappointment that you weren't able to go, or were you just like, whew, I dodged a bullet?
It was
literally.
It was definitely a disappointment. The questions of why. It's always the needs of the Marine Corps, no matter what. They supersede everything.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of one unit. The first unit I joined was getting ready to disband and just be retired. And all the Marines were poof going to other units.
Yeah.
And we slated new training. I was going to change jobs, and it just didn't work. They're like, you're going to Baltimore. Okay, that works.
Yes,
DC
sir.
to Baltimore.
Yeah, right.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then was part of this connected with events, and you were talking about country club and different events and DC and working in the embassy security wise, is that all attached to being a Marine or
kind of? Definitely the experience of being a United States Marine, you definitely get a lot of training in a number of security fields and mindsets, things like that. Insurance got me there, actually. Well, before that, it was church that got me there. I'm in recovery. I haven't drank in 9 years.
9 years.
9 years. And met a guy. I was introduced to this person by a mutual friend at church. And they said, hey, this guy needs help, right? And
meaning you?
No.
Oh, this guy needs
help.
Okay.
Go help him.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I meet this guy, and he's definitely in the beginning stages of, I can't drink anymore, alcohol withdrawal.
Right.
Don't know how to not drink anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, come with me. We're going to meetings,
Okay.
We're going to work steps. We're going to get free from that.
Yeah.
And he was in the security field.
Okay.
And that's how I met him. We became friends.
Okay.
And I know I'm working insurance, I'm selling, servicing, doing my insurance thing. Met this guy at church, and he needed extra bodies. He had all these contracts and was having trouble filling them. So I was moonlighting for like 3 or 4 years. I was selling insurance, working at the agency, nights and weekends, doing embassy details in DC for their parties, for events. A couple of the embassies, they don't have their own security. There's American Security Forces. I think it's like a DSS, it's Diplomatic Security Services.
Okay.
They hang out outside.
Okay.
But inside, they can't go in, with their guns and stuff unless they're invited. So when they're having parties, events, all types of things, they need private security. So we did that.
Yeah.
I remember we did a couple of details at the ambassador's mansion in D.C. for the Netherlands. And
oh my gosh,
there's all these dignitaries there,
Was there anybody well known that I would know that you were in the same room with at any point?
Well known that you would know, not in DC, more of the country club stuff. The guy who used to run the CDC, I think he's from Baltimore, so the Center for Disease Control.
Yeah.
He was a member of the country club.
Okay.
And white bearded guy.
Yeah.
And he was there a couple times. Saw Justin Tucker there.
Okay.
And some Ravens guys, the governor, things like that.
Okay, gotcha.
So we would be brought in for their big events as well. And it's armed private security. It's fun stuff. The pay's good.
Sure.
And, good stories to tell.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but that ran its course too, because I'm a single father.
Okay.
I have, my daughter's almost 16 now.
Okay.
And I'm burning the candle on both ends.
Sure.
Selling insurance, servicing, trying to grow this agency with my father.
Yeah.
Picking up supplemental income. And I had to put that down to focus on my daughter and focus on this business.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was fun times while it lasted.
Yeah. I remember when the kid, when our girls were young, it was like, I had to do 2 and 3 jobs just to, get by. We valeted really nice cars at a country club, and, I coached, and of course I was a teacher. And man, I tell you what, it's tough because like you're trying to provide for your family, but you're not necessarily present all the time. Yeah. And so it's like trying to find that balance of like, surviving,
definitely.
And providing for the family and making sure that your family loves you in the end.
Still being there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you could buy anything for them, but if you're not around, then you're still absent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with all these cool experiences, what have you brought from that time period to where you are now in insurance? How has your past helped shape who you are in the insurance business?
Okay, good question.
I think I'll come up with one every now and then.
That was a good one.
Thanks, buddy.
Doing the demolition stuff, it's serious business. So I understand the being on the ground of a job site. Heavy equipment moving around, buildings coming down or buildings going up.
Big risk.
A lot of risk there. So I know the ins and the outs of that. And to keep people properly insured nowadays for any of the contingencies that could happen, filling gaps in coverage. The ocean rescue lifeguarding, best job in the world.
Yeah.
Best job ever. There's guys who still do it who I guarded with when I was a rookie lifeguard. And
wow.
They're teachers.
Okay.
Teachers are by now like vice principals.
There's a local police officer, Rick Krause. He's a student resource officer at Bel Air High School. Mm-hmm. And every year he goes down and he's part of the Ocean City Beach Patrol.
Lifers, yeah.
And he got the job, like we went to high school together, and he literally got it like right out of high school.
That's
and
cool.
Then had a brief stint where he wasn't doing it, but I mean he's 50 years old and he's jacked, ripped, and just in the best shape. And they had these competitions, and he's like pull up competition, and he's smoking everybody.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I did some beach flags in the lifeguard competitions and some relay races, running and swimming.
Okay.
I was like a fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lifeguarding, best job ever. I mean, you're surfing, bodyboarding, saving people. 3 months of the year you're at the beach.
Yeah. Tan, ripped
back then, chasing girlies.
Yeah. Not anymore though.
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Not
Gotcha.
anymore.
Okay.
But the service, when someone is in need. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was thinking about it in the 11 summers that I did it, probably over 100 rescues. Of those rescues, probably a quarter of them, like these people weren't going to make it if they didn't get pulled in.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, if you ever see videos of like these huge bubbling cauldron rip currents,
yeah.
And they come from the waves, the wave action comes in, all that water's got to go back out.
Right.
It channels out, digs the sand out a little bit. And before you know it, you're standing in waist deep water. And then next thing you know, there's no sand under your feet and you're in a bubbling cauldron of rip current.
Oh my gosh.
And
people probably don't understand just how serious rip currents are. And when there's the rip current warning when you're at the beach during the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
thankfully, I know the beaches in New Jersey have it. I'm sure Maryland, Delaware beaches have it too, where they got those placards, it's like a signpost, and it's like red arrows of water going out. And you could tell a rip current because you see water coming in, it's one color. But the rip current actually looks like a river flowing out. And it's lighter in color because it's picking all this sand up with it. It's drawing it all out. So it becomes a channel. It becomes a river.
Yeah.
And it's lighter in color and it's moving away from the ocean, or away from the beach out to the ocean.
Yeah.
And so that's where I first found a heart for service.
Okay.
Like actually saving people's lives and sitting there after the day's over and that person wouldn't be alive right now if we didn't pull them in.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's crazy stuff. And that's where discipline kind of started. I mean, even though, being a lifeguard is fun times.
Sure.
But it's also a very serious job.
Yeah.
There would be, I can't say enough kudos to the lifeguards in America, around the world who are saving lives. So many people would die each year in rip currents. I mean, the saves don't make the news.
Do you see it coming?
Yeah.
It's not something that just pops up. Like
you could see it coming.
Yeah.
When the lifeguards are blowing whistles and moving you, they're moving you for a reason. They're moving you because a rip current's about to form there. You could see the wave action and the water start moving, and you're trying to get these people out of there.
Yeah.
And they don't always listen. Mind blowing is we could go on a full rescue, couple benches. We have radios. We didn't do semaphore with the flags.
Okay.
Calling in backup, and we all go out and we're swimming out. We're swimming lines out, and lifeguards on the beach pulling the lines in. You're pulling in a couple people at a time.
Oh my gosh.
And
it's like fishing.
You get all these people back safe. All the lifeguards are gassed. We just did this big rescue, and we go back to our benches, and people, they just sat there and watched this. We'll go right in the same spot. And I'm like, you're taking your life in your own hands there, But it's
I'm on my 15-minute break.
Right. You're going to want to wait before you go in.
Right, yeah.
But so there was a sense of discipline, a sense of duty.
Yeah.
And that followed me into the Marine Corps.
Sure.
Which surely instilled that a lot greater. And I think, there's a lot of benefits from that today. I mean, my daughter doesn't like very much. I'm strict, but I'm also lenient, and I'm trying to show her. I don't like repeating myself. I don't like, because if someone told me something, it's do or die. This person's going to drown, or you need to, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
When you're told something, you do it.
Oh boy.
Not like, I got to tell you.
How does that gel with a 16-year-old daughter?
It's rough.
Okay.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough, man. I think we're like, a couple tasks on the refrigerator are going on like 2.5 weeks right now. And I'm like, do I have to take your phone? Don't make me be the bad guy.
Oh,
right. Don't make me be the
Sarah's
bad
in the
guy.
background. Not me.
No.
That's Anna. That's Izzy.
Chore goes on the board. Check. Did it immediately.
There you go. Immediately. Is that a word? Is that a word?
Not for teenagers.
That's funny. So, people are shopping for insurance. Is it safe to say that the majority of people are just trying to find the cheapest rate?
They are.
Yeah.
A good portion of them.
Yeah.
And understandably so. I mean, we're talking working 2-3 different jobs to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
But it's really, we don't sell on price. We can't. It's great when our price beats their price.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sell on, okay, you have gaps in coverage, or you have coverage that's not, the limits aren't high enough. I'm going to quote you how you should be, and we could back it down from there to a point.
Okay.
Like I'm not selling state minimum limits on personal auto policies. It's just, it's not enough. It's not going to cover you. Why are you even paying for it? So it's definitely price driven industry, but we sell on service and value. We're available.
And you're talking about like a risk management strategy. I think that's how you phrased it when we talked before.
Yeah, when we get into commercial insurances, we have clients that are paying $500,000 a year in premium across, a number of lines of insurance, and they expect to be covered fully for everything.
You're darn right.
Exactly. Right? So you need to look at the gaps when products are being transported, whether you own them, whether you don't own them. Those are two different kinds of coverages. Where are they covered? You're importing this, you're building it to spec, and then you're shipping it out.
Right.
Where is that covered along the line when it's not in your possession? And if something happens, where is the money going to come from to replace whatever was damaged, lost, stolen, whatever it may be?
Sure.
So the risk management approach is, getting a whole look at someone's business. Like, we want to know everything, soup to nuts, because I want to know where your gaps are.
Yeah. What are some gaps that people commonly don't think about?
All right. The biggest gap with personal insurance is with auto.
Okay.
The biggest gap I see is when someone's underinsured, or they're underinsured motorist coverage. That's the liability that's going to cover you when someone hits you and they don't have insurance, or they don't have enough insurance. Those liability limits should be the same. Like the liability limits you're carrying, say 100, 500, 100 limits, right? Your uninsured, underinsured motorist should mirror that.
Okay.
But I see someone, they'll come in there, maybe they have 500 limits for them and their children and family who are driving. You've got good liability.
Yeah.
But your underinsured motorist coverage is like almost state minimum limits. If someone hits you and one of you guys gets injured, like that's where the coverage comes from. It doesn't come from your liability.
Wow.
It comes from the liability for the other people that you have to pay for.
Interesting.
The number is like 1 in 8 drivers on the road don't have insurance right now.
How is that legal? How is that possible?
I mean, technically it's not. Maryland actually changed. They used to give 12-month ID cards. Now they only give 6-month ID cards. So you could have a 12-month policy, but your ID card runs out in 6 months because there's a big problem with people buying insurance, making the first payment, then not paying anymore. And here I have my ID card, Mr. Officer, when you pull me over.
Right.
But it's 1 in 8. I think it's more than that. Either don't have insurance or are vastly underinsured.
Yeah.
I mean, I see people driving a $100,000 car and you got $50,000 in property damage. Like,
it's a $100,000 car.
You get into an at-fault accident, you're coming out of pocket, So it's important to have the right coverage at the right price.
Sure.
And we're an independent agency.
Yeah.
So we have a number of carriers that we work with. We are not beholden to one insurance company selling their product, and that's all we have.
Gotcha. You have many pots to dip your hands into.
Yeah. We
different
will search,
options.
and it depends on the risk characteristics. I could see who you are, what you have, what you're doing. I know the best couple, 3, 4 insurance companies to take you to.
Yeah.
For the risk itself.
Interesting.
Yeah. Single auto, maybe a renter's. Geico and Progressive are probably the best for you.
Okay.
Cost savings analysis is probably the best.
Okay.
If you're, family man, you have 3 kids on the road, house, boat, toys, it's going to be a different company.
Okay.
So it's definitely risk characteristic based, depending on who you are and what your needs are is where I'm going to take you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Are there other advantages other than the fact that you have your hands in different buckets that to work with an independent agency versus just kind of like a big box insurance company?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different products on the market, and each company, claims is the most important part.
Sure.
Is their claim service really good?
Yeah.
I have standard carriers whose claim service is amazing. I also have standard carriers, I won't name them, but their claim service is not the best.
Interesting.
And when you're finally going to use the product, you need it to work. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like for health insurance, for our family, we went with a cheaper policy, and it was like it wasn't covering anything. My wife had a surgery, and we ended up coming out of pocket like $30,000. I'm like, why are we paying for insurance?
Yeah.
And now we have to pay them. Real estate people have to pay for their own insurance,
right?
Or have a spouse that has a plan that's provided by their company, another company, or whatever. But it's ridiculous. Like
it is.
I'm spending all this money. Why am I still having to cover so much? And
right.
that blows my mind. Maybe you can give me some insight.
I can't really wrap my head around the health insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, the health insurance system is broken.
Yeah.
The things that are billed for.
And that's not your specialty.
It's not.
Yeah.
It is
right.
not. I'm in the same boat with you. My daughter broke her leg catastrophically 2 years ago. She got 9 pins in her leg and ankle. Like the bills from that, they're pretty big. And we pay, it's like 13, 14 grand a year for her and I.
That's crazy.
And I go to the doctor. Every time I go to the doctor, $200, $100, $150. And it's like, what are they charging for Tylenol and bandages?
Yeah.
From the hospital, 1 pill of Tylenol is probably $50.
See,
it's insane.
Where's the regulation? Where's the,
It's not cool what they're doing to us,
And every 4 years when we have an election, people say cheaper health care, we're going to fix this. And it's just like, it just keeps on getting pushed down the road.
It's horrible.
I'm not trying to get political or anything, but I mean, no matter what you believe, whether you're Democrat or Republican, it's the same story every 4 years.
They are 2 wings of the same bird working for people above them.
I like that analogy.
That's what it is.
There it is.
I don't know who they are, but
right.
Yeah.
If they are listening, get your stuff together.
Right. Quit gouging the middle class.
Yeah. Dang it. All right. Look how we did with the profanity there. That wasn't too bad.
Did really well.
We cleaned that up really nice. That was good. So, what are some emerging risks that maybe you didn't have 5-10 years ago that are now business owners or people should be focusing on when it comes to risk and insurance?
The biggest one is the cyber risk.
Yeah.
It has evolved because you think about all the technology. I mean, we went from there was no internet to now there's an internet.
Right.
And now there's people will scam.
Oh my gosh.
No matter what, but now there's an internet to do it with. And the cyber liability coverages, it's ever evolving. There's sub-limits to cyber. So a lot of people are ignorant to the fact of insurance, where it's like, I have an insurance policy. It covers me for everything. No, it does not.
It does not.
It does not. There are exclusions,
the fine print.
Yeah, the fine print of your, yes, I bought a policy. Well, it's 262 pages, I mean, thank God we have AI, and you could upload it and you could search things.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, back in the day, 15 years ago, I'm reading full policies, like looking for where, here's the coverage here. They took it away here. Did they give it back anywhere else? Reading through the whole thing. But the cyber liability, the sublimits of social engineering for the phishing scams, we didn't recover, but insurance companies paid for, if the accounts payable gets an email from the CEO or CFO. Well, I mean, these people maybe didn't hack into your systems, but they know enough. They know the email addresses, regular addresses, phone numbers, where they will switch 2 letters, switch 2 numbers, and make an email address like that. And if you're not looking at it, and your CFO just sent you an email that says, pay this invoice, and this invoice is $300,000. Large companies are paying invoices like that, supplies,
Sure.
all that stuff. So it's like maybe just run of the mill. But if you're not checking, verifying, and you pay that $300,000 invoice, click the button, money's out of your bank, and it was fraudulent, if you don't have social engineering coverage on your cyber, it's not covered. So you need the sublimits.
Did a specific situation happen where both you and Charles Hammett from Hammett Technologies were involved in the same thing, or were you just kind of piggybacking off of each other as far as something that happened?
In his business, he's IT, IT service, and a number of his clients have been hit with these scams.
Okay.
And he's had to go through and piece together how it happened, and give reports to whether it's the authorities, whether the insurance companies, as to what happened, how it happened. And sometimes it's covered if they have the social engineering and can be proven what it was. It was some sort of phishing attack.
Right.
And the insurance company will pay because they have to. If you don't have that coverage, they will not pay because they don't have to.
Right.
But no, we haven't been on the same event.
Okay, gotcha.
But he's been privy to a number of them with his clients, and I've had a couple happen to my clients over the years.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's the biggest one.
Okay.
Because they're trying to get at us left, right, and center from our phone. The text messages, right?
Dude.
The MVA is not going to text you to pay a fine.
Easy Pass is not.
No, people do it all the time.
Oh yeah.
And
the most vulnerable are usually seniors.
They are.
Yeah.
Because the technology, they didn't have that growing up.
Sure.
This is all new. Like when I see someone in their 60s or 70s who knows how to use a computer and this, that, I'm like, you're awesome.
Yeah.
You're really awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's so new and people are being scammed. But cyber coverage is very important.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the biggest emerging one.
Gotcha.
That would be a new product.
I'm not sure if you know the answer to this question, but I often 3-4 times a day get a text from a health insurance person that wants to quote me and then type no for unsubscribe or whatever.
Yeah.
How do I get off that list?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know the answer to that question. All right, well, that does it for today, folks.
Remember there was a point in time where there was a list and you could put your number on the list.
The do not call list.
They sold that list. They sold that list,
It's insane. It's insane.
I get it all day long, refinanced for the mortgage. You're telling me you're going to get me a 4% rate right now?
Yeah.
I go to PRMI, ask Jeff, hey, where are we at today?
Right.
It's nowhere near 4.
Nowhere near it.
It's a scam.
When it's too good to be, like, if there's one piece of advice that I could give right now, if it's too good to be true,
it is.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's
without a doubt.
It's a scam.
Yeah, get rich quick schemes, all that stuff. There's no...
We're going to give you X amount of dollars, whatever. Yeah, and then you get ones that are saying, hey, if you got to go and get us a gift card for whatever. It's like...
Total scam.
Come on, man.
Total scam. I think the prince is in Nairobi or wherever. There's a prince who's giving away billions of dollars.
Yes.
You're on the list. Just give us your routing and account number, and we'll make a little deposit and give you a little taste.
What a nice guy.
Right? Here it is right here. I'm about to get 50 G's, and it's all gone.
Yeah. It's sad.
It is.
It's sad. And then you see some of these clips where the police are they make it to the person that's at the ATM right now trying to make that withdrawal or deposit or whatever. And they're saying stop, don't do this. This is a scam. And they're just
doing it anyway.
And I think a lot of that is just, we're living in a world right now where we're desperate. Affordability is non-existent right now. And if we feel like we can get that crutch of just a little bit of help,
it's like a glimmer of hope.
Oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for.
Some breathing room.
Right.
It's just asking for a little bit of breathing room.
Exactly.
Right? And it will make people do things that logically don't make sense. Like if someone's telling you don't do this, it's a scam.
Right. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Believe them.
No one's giving you $10,000, $20,000 for free. Not in this world.
Nope.
It's just not happening. No.
Wow. You're also very involved in the community, and I definitely want to talk a little bit about that. You have membership in a few different organizations, doing good things for people outside of insurance. And I think a lot of people that are in small business do go above and beyond to help the community at another level. Talk about a little bit about the things that you're involved in.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, small business, helping out the community, the chamber, business owners, the volunteering, the funds given and funds raised. Watching all that, being in downtown Bel Air, we've been here for 16 years now. And we wanted to help out. Back in 2012, an organization was forming, the Society of Italian American Businessmen. And Mark Dardozzi is the president and the founder, him and Elio Scaccio and my father, myself, and Islo Liberatore, Bill Walden, Frank Schwind.
Lots of big names there.
Yeah, some of their mothers were Italian. Wanted to get together and form the Society of Italian American Businessmen, which is a 501c3 charity. We were going to raise funds to help our community. And it began as, for membership, you have to be Italian. And
that makes sense.
You live, work, or worship in Harford County.
Okay.
So that's where we began. The 7 of us started in 2012, and it grew and grew and grew. And from where I'm sitting today, we've raised and given out over $1.2 million to charities here in Harford County, like Harford Family House, SARC, all the ones that help, Extreme Family, all of them.
Yep.
We're raising money to give out this money so they could help our community.
Right.
Helping in your backyard is where it starts. You can cut a check to some charity and maybe they'll help someone somewhere, which is great.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Who's helping our people who are helping people here?
Yes.
So that's why we started SIAB, and also to promote our Italian heritage and culture and family and faith, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we've raised and given out all that money. We have annual gala every year. We have an annual golf tournament that's well attended. We are going into our 4th year of the Maryland Italian Festival.
Okay.
Last year we moved it over to Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen. The city of Aberdeen, gracious. Harford County, gracious with grants, tourism grants. And September 26th, 27th, and 28th this year is the Maryland Italian Festival.
Oh, wow.
And we're hoping to raise a bunch of money so we could turn around and give it out. Like Shar Hope, Derek Hopkins' organization. We gave them last year $25,000 with a promissory of the next 3 years, $25,000 each. They are recovery. They have a men's recovery house, a woman's recovery house, and they're helping people, get their lives back.
Right.
So we want to help them help people.
Sure.
And
You have a bull roast coming up too, right?
We do the linguine and crab feast.
Okay. Yeah.
It's August 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
August 20. Yeah, we'll be able to get this out before then. So.
Yeah, I'll get you some flyers for sponsorship and tickets for a table.
All right.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Crabs, beer, and Antonella and Ciro Coppola from La Cucina and Havre de Grace.
Okay.
They make the linguine and crab sauce. A little spicy. It's good.
Okay.
It's real good.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up. And I think 3 years ago now, we gave CHEP $50,000.
Yeah.
And that's Community Helping Empower Patriots.
Okay.
And I recently just got elected to the board.
I heard.
CHEP.
That's pretty awesome, man. We had them in here for a podcast episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Jack Berkridge and
that whole crew is amazing.
They're awesome.
You know, 2 clients of mine, Eric Metz from Tropical Smoothie and Steve Crodell from EcoCool HVAC. Steve's Navy, Eric's Army, you know, I'm Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And Palumbo Insurance has been sponsoring, one of the sponsors for the golf tournament for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And that kind of flipped a switch in me for helping veterans.
That's really
cool. Because I have a lot of veteran friends who could utilize those services, you know, and they're doing good things. And they have a 76% success rate right now where men are leaving the program with full-time paying jobs.
Yep.
You know, they're able to get an apartment, condo, you know, and it's not just drugs and alcohol, it's mental health. It's, you know, we all make bad decisions, but some bad decisions come with some really big consequences. And I think a lot of us have had to start over a couple times in life.
Sure.
So I wanted to help out where I could with that organization, and I'm really excited to be on the board, and I'm really excited to, you know, help raise money for this program.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool how the things that maybe we've done wrong in the past, you know, bad decisions that we've made. You talked about being 9 years sober, had to struggle with addiction. And at that point in time, it was just something that kind of weighed on you. But now you flip that, and it's something that you're now serving others and helping them through. It's like you almost needed to go through some of the things that you've gone through in order to just make this world a little bit better of a place to live in.
Oh, yeah. You're 100% correct, without a doubt. I used to live a very hedonistic lifestyle.
Whoa.
You know,
Okay.
Just whatever felt good, whatever I wanted to do, just do it.
Yeah.
Consequences.
Right.
Irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Well, those consequences start adding up. They stack up, and you got to face these consequences. And, you know, when I was at my lowest, is where I found God. You know, I grew up Roman Catholic, and when I was 17, going on 18, like I left the church.
Yeah.
Not like leaving God, but it just wasn't for me, and I didn't have a relationship with God. I didn't understand. And a lifetime of getting beat up and getting beat down, being broken, is what, for me, is at least what was needed to surrender. To say, I can't do this. I don't got this. I don't know what to do. I need help. And, you know, he helps us through people, you know, angels.
Introducing us to the right people at the right time.
People, you know, just a different way of life, living not for yourself. Like all the things I want, I know are going to come if I just do the right thing. If I just step out of my own way, do the right thing, help others for the right reasons, and good things start to happen. You know, and like, I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams right now. I have my daughter. I have a house. I'm growing a business. I get to work with my family. I get to help out in the community. When I was 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old, that none of those things were you know, on my radar as to I aspire to. Well, today I get to have all those things, you know, and it's from being broken. It's from surrendering and allowing God to work in my life and helping other people.
That's awesome, man.
Helping because people help me. You know? Men help me, stuck out their hand and said, I will help you. Just like I was telling that earlier when I was introduced to the guy who had the security company.
From church,
From church. Another guy from church in recovery was Ed, you have to go talk to this guy. Let me introduce you.
Do you still communicate with him?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like someone helped me. So when someone needs help, you offer it. You know, if they're ready, they'll take it. If not, they need a little bit more pain and suffering. Then hopefully at some point they'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's wrap it up here with maybe one or two powerful questions here.
Okay.
If I could give you 3 words to use that could define the success that you're having right now in life, what 3 words or attributes would you attest to where you are today?
Blessed. I'm extremely blessed, better than I deserve to be.
Awesome.
I am blessed, hopeful.
Yeah.
I am hopeful for the future. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know it's going to be all right no matter what. And I am happy. I have my daughter. I get to work with my family.
That's
and
awesome.
I get to serve my community. And so those are the 3.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
That's beautiful. You just mentioned the future. Over the next 5-10 years, what's Ed Palumbo doing? Do you have a goal? Do you have a specific vision for where we're taking the business, where we're taking ourselves as personally?
I do. I want to replicate what we have going on in our business. I'm training commercial service reps, CSRs right now, who are licensed agents, to service and know insurance how my father and I know insurance, and duplicate producers on the street and grow,
Yeah.
And so take the agency to the next level. That's the biggest plan,
16 years in the business, you're well established.
Yes.
And you're doing great things.
Thank you.
Definitely involved in the community.
Yes.
And yet you're going to spread that on to other people to flourish.
I mean, you don't think nobody wants to get into insurance. How do you get into the insurance business? Well, once you're in it, you can do very well in it.
Yeah.
We're helping people every day. And so I want to grow that. I want to be financially stable and better, provide a better life for my daughter.
Yeah.
And get her through. She wants to be a nurse. So get her over to Harford Community College.
Let's go.
Got to get her through C. Milton Wright. Get her over there.
Oh, she's a Mustang.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bobcat,
right?
yeah. So
that's all right.
That's all right. We won't hold it against her.
No. But grow the agency, get her going in the right direction so she could start her life, and hopefully the things I'm instilling that at 16, she's bucking me pretty good. They're, she's got them instilled. And helping this community, helping out at my church, Mount Zion Church in Bel Air.
Okay.
Wonderful church. And helping those who help others.
Yeah.
The SIAB motto, really.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm from New Jersey. For the longest time, I'm a Jersey guy. I love New Jersey, but Bel Air is my home.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome place.
So I'm going to do the most I can where I am, which is here.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
If people are interested in getting their insurance evaluated, or if they want to get into the insurance business, or they just connect it with anything that we talked about, because we talked about it a lot today.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Great job. How can people connect with you?
Oh, you could give me a call. Our number is 410-836-8591, www.palumboinsuranceassociates.com.
Yeah.
And, you can find me on socials, wherever. We could have a conversation about insurance, about life, about anything.
Yeah. This is awesome, man. Thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Please follow or seek out Ed. Great guy, great business right upstairs in our Cummings and Company office here on Fulford Avenue. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram or YouTube at the Markland Advantage. And if you're watching this on social media, you can also listen in your car on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you download a podcast. Dude.
Awesome.
Ed Palumbo Insurance.
Have a Markland Advantage kind of day.
And until next time, live your life to the fullest, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, man.
Did you like this episode of the TMA Connection? Well, you might want to check this one out right here. Go ahead, click it.